Hello, welcome to Skull RPG Podcast. My name's Dwight Skull.
My name's Jacob Skull.
And today we're going to teach you how to tell your story.
To continue with our little mini-series and our bigger series of improv, you have the next thing would be kind of the yes and, but there's always a cap.
Yeah, there is. So in actual improv, if you were to study comedy in improv, they will tell you never say the word no, never say the word but. Why? Because it stops the momentum. So in true improv, we're going to improv a scene. I don't think we will, but we're going to improv a scene really quick. And you're going to be the baker and I'm going to be the customer. And I walk in and I immediately throw a dead chicken on the thing. And I say, this doesn't, this chicken's dead. And you're sitting there thinking, I thought I was a baker. Okay, well, I guess I can't be a baker anymore because he came up with poultry, so I guess I'm a butcher now.
I'm a baker butcher.
Yeah, so I'm just going to roll with it. So I'm not going to say I'm the baker because now I've said no. I'm the baker. Why are you here? No, you showed up with a chicken. You misunderstood. It's fine. I'm going to roll with it. And I'm going to say something like, because the audience now knows you made a mistake. Because you were told this was a bakery. So I'm going to say, hey, welcome to my bakery and butchery store. What's your problem? And he's like, you sold me a dead bird. And then you go, I normally sell dead birds. Right? So you got to keep going. Yes, I normally sell dead birds. What's the problem with this one? And now that other player has to come up with something like, maybe it's not dead. Maybe it's a genie. Maybe it's, not a turkey. Maybe, or a chicken. Maybe it's, whatever the thing is. They just got to they got to roll with something. So the idea is that we're always saying yes. Always saying yes. We keep escalating and escalating and escalating. On a fun note, my wife and I went to a show called Improvised Shakespeare. It was an hour-and-a-half long show of like 8 actors who were literally given the title of a play by some random audience member. And so every play is unique and it's 100% improvised for an hour and a half with full 3 acts. And of course, everybody dies at the end because Shakespeare. Those guys were amazing. That said, that is not RPG. While improv is a great skill, most people don't have it. Most people definitely don't have it in a sense to be able to do it for an hour and a half long. That's some skill training. And sadly, my RPG adventures are 3 hours long, and they're weekly. And so am I literally like the master of improv? By no means. Instead, I'm the answer of a yes with a cap, as Jacob was saying at the beginning. So if you want to do something that's totally going to break my game, like become a god, like we talked about in our last one, I'm going to say no. Except I did say yes, but I said yes, but, right? I didn't say yes and. I said yes, but that's not really what happened. That's an alternate universe. So yes, we can do it, but no, it's not really happening. Thank you. Everyone's satisfied with that answer. We went on with life and it was fine. Another thing that can happen is sometimes your players will mishear what you say, and they will then take it on. So there's a hilarious Knights of the Dinner Table again. This is actually their first comic. I think it's actually available for free. I'll see if I can find it. And if I can't find it, I'll put it on a resources page.
Gazebo?
The gazebo. So in case you don't know what a gazebo is typically an octagonal, 8-sided, 6-sided, it could be a hexagon, open-aired, basically room. It has a roof and it has pillars and it has 1 or 2 entrances into it, maybe even more. Typically they're found outside, and it's basically, you put a swing in it, or you can, if you're really rich, you might have a band playing underneath it for certain events. But for the most part, it's basically just a roof with open aired sides. And so you can think of it like I was going to say like a tent, but I don't mean like a tent, like a canopy.
I was going to say...
It's a canopy, but it's permanent.
Octagonal roofed deck is a really great example.
Yeah. It's a deck with pillars with a roof over it, so it can rain and you'll be fine. So the players hear that there's this gazebo in the field, and they don't understand what a gazebo is because they just didn't. So they think it's this crazy monster. So immediately the rogue pulls out his like bolts of slaying plus whatever, and he hits it. And he goes, "What did do I hit it?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, because to hit to hit it at the broadside of a barn is probably pretty low." So he hits the gazebo
What
with an
happens
arrow.
to it? It doesn't move.
It seems unfazed. Like it doesn't even look like it cares.
I'm gonna go hack at it with my Hackmaster plus 12. Okay.
Yeah,
Seems unfazed.
it's you're chipping away at it. Like so then finally when they load up fireballs, it finally does starts to destroy itself. And of course, the GM could have easily just said, "Wait, you're attacking a gazebo." Yes. Can I explain what a gazebo is before we do this? And just say a gazebo is just a building, guys. You're just attacking a building. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. You wouldn't have actually done the bolt. You wouldn't have taken the bolt out and killed a building. So you don't understand the word. So in that regard, like it's the same thing. If you have a misunderstanding, just back the train up and explain the misunderstanding. And then the other just general tip for improving in kind of goes with this whole thing is I normally allow anything that won't physically break my game. Killing the big bad person before their time, absolutely, because they could be working for somebody else. I mean, it's like a soap opera. It's like, oh no, you killed John. That's okay. John has a twin. I mean, that's okay.
Or
John
did
works
you?
for somebody. Or yeah. I mean, come on. Every horror flick. I mean, let's see. Freddy and Jason have been killed what 10 times apiece. I mean, for the most part, it's not like you actually kill off some of these people.
Jean Grey, I think, is in the
Oh,
running
jeez.
for having the most deaths in fiction in history at like 15.
She's amazing. And you have spells that it kind of like you have a clone spell in 5e and other spells and other things where it's not hard.
Reincarnate, True Resurrection.
There's so many different ways, and a clone is nice though because this just means that your big bad is always has a contingency plan. I mean, liches have phylacteries, so if you don't kill the phylactery, the lich is coming back. I mean, there's so many different ways to bring people back that it's not a big deal if they kill your big bad. And let's just say the big bad does die, and they die. Fine. They're still working for somebody, so now the big bad is now the person that they were working for. It's not the hardest
just
thing.
the bad.
Yeah, he was just the big bad for that story session or that little section. He's not the actual ultimate big bad. And you see this in TV and movies all the time, right? The evil king. We killed the evil king. Well, the evil king, while he was in power, technically was reporting to the evil czar or vizier, right? And it's that person was actually doing all the real work.
Anybody in power has body doubles. I mean, it's even in Star Wars.
I was going to say that is in Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, so many different ways to do it. So. That said, when you're improvising and your players want to do something crazy, unless it is a total game breaker, and there's very few things that are, becoming a god is a game breaker. But almost anything short of that, I'm more likely to say yes, but, or yeah, that's fine, and then come up with a backup plan after the fact. And you can do this in pre-mades as well. Let's say pre-made has some stupid thing where they decide to reveal the guy, and immediately they decide to attack, and you rolled low on you're rolling in the open, and you rolled low, and the next thing you know, in one round, they've killed your big bad.
I mean, you have a similar story to that, because you had one session where the psychic all or nothing killed the big bad, because...
In one round. It was actually, I had a turn, and then it was her turn, and it was over. And we prepared for this war forever. And because Matt was running a pre-made, it said, well, once this person dies, the game's, they all flee because her basically her might, her sheer force of will was holding this army together.
And the problem was that Matt at that time was rolling out in the open.
Yep.
And then because of that, everybody saw the critical fail.
Yeah, critical fail on
and you
the
really
save.
Can't walk that back if you're rolling out in the open.
And she maximized it and everything else, and so she rolls really well, and the next thing you know, it's like, does this little psionic little character have 120 hit points when the rest of us only have like 40? No. So she's dead. Okay, body double would have been a great answer to that. Yeah. Oh, the army's not going away. Oh no, what's going on? Oh, you didn't actually do it. You killed that person, but that was just a general. That's not the actual head of the army.
The servant right next to her is the actual person.
Exactly. Yeah, or something. I mean. Or they're not even on the battlefield yet because they're running from behind, not from the front. I mean, it's so many different ways to handle this stuff. But if you don't have a backup plan, then you get caught in a lurch. So I would always think to myself, if I'm going to bring out my big bad early, What if they kill it? What if they kill him or her? Now what? Well, she better have a backup plan for how she's going to survive this. And it could just be she doesn't, but her boss is, equally bad or worse, or as a body double, or there's a clone, or there's a true resurrection, or there's a something coming to bring that person back. So anyway, we'll just leave you with that today, and that will conclude our improv series, but we're going to continue on the series of GM tips for now your players. So the next couple of episodes are going to be on how to handle problem players. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for listening.
And for more resources, please go to skullrpg.com.